Westminster City Park in Westminster, Colorado. This is the 2022 USAFL Western Regional Championships. This is round 2 of the women's division as the 1-0 Denver Bulldogs take on the 0-1 Seattle Grizzlies. My name is Brian Bowers. Great to have you along. Bulldogs were winners earlier today over the Sacramento Suns combination 42-14, while the Seattle Grizzlies went down valiantly to the defending champions of the national defending champions, the San Francisco Iron Maidens, 32-20. Umpire Seb Aguiari holds the spirit of this great game aloft, chucks it to the heavens, and it's knocked forward. We're underway. The Grizzlies in the black and the green going from right to left, and Anna Thexton was taken down high, no call. Skittling that one forward was Rachel Blum for Seattle. That one is skittered across the carpet, and going over to get it is Denver. That one's picked up, and here's Latia Holmes with a handball in short. Looking there and getting that one forward was Stephanie Peterson. Peterson goes to pick that one up, getting away is Madeline Matheson. One of 4 players wearing the Seattle colors who are actually from the Orange County Giants, helping to make up numbers as well. The ball comes again. We'll talk about these teams as we go on this game, but here is Plum who wins the footy, sends that one towards the sticks. It's a one-on-one contest as Susan goes in behind it with well done to get away from Amelia Carr, who is one of the more athletic players on the field. And it's up on the far side now, and that one will be cleared out on the far side. It stays in play, and ball ping-pongs off a couple of pegs. Picked up there by Jennifer Anderson. Anderson sends that one forward, but she is met immediately by a Bulldog player. Bruce is in there, one by Holmes. Holmes dropped the footy, and the umpire caught it. She'll get pinged for just that. Seattle Grizzlies, runners-up in Division I in 2018 and 19. The women's club has only been around since 2016. Co-founded by Valerie Barber Axthelm, who is probably watching us in Australia. Hi, Val. As the mark is taken by the by the Bulldogs, rather, and although I don't think it was paid. And Hallie Kastanek took the catch, but was not paid as a mark. So the umpire tosses it to the heavens once again, knocked forward by the Grizz into the hands of Shoelise, I believe, out to the near side. And the mark taken by Peterson. Peterson plays on quickly. Over into the pocket, looking for Amanda Bowe. Bowe picks that one up and bootlegs around, sends that one into an empty goal square. Who's going to win this race? It's going to roll. And there is Carr, who is putting the hammer on Aspen Baca, and Baca was able to get it free. Nervy opening for Denver. If you remember the last game against Sacramento, they were on the back foot at the very beginning, but was able to recover. Mark taken by Baca. Baca has the footy, sends that one up the far side, and it will roll and go out of bounds. We're at the Westminster City Park. You can see absolutely beautiful backdrop, and the field is held up over the course of the day. There's a chance that we might see a little bit of rain a little bit later on. Hopefully for the sake of these electronics we won't, but we'll see how it goes. It's definitely cooled off a few degrees over the last couple of hours as the ball gets knocked down by the Grizz. And going to pick that one up there was 10, who is Hannah Altschwager. Now here comes Denver. Still no score in the game. That one is dropped by Marissa Porpoint, who kicked 2 absolute stunning goals in the first game against Seattle. Oh, and that one was taken high. You could hear the reaction, or at least we could overhear, by Allison Bremner, who got caught right around the neck, and she should be awarded a free kick for that. As Anna Thexton goes over to retrieve the ball. For Allison Bremner, doctor, and she will, former member of the USA Freedom International Cup team, which is the closest thing we have to a World Cup. She'll line up from 30 meters out, the wind blowing in her face. The wind does hang it up, as now we've had our stiffest breeze of the afternoon, which is blowing from left to right. That one skittles through just under the hands. Oh, it's still in play, and there was a big hit put in afterwards. I'm not sure who that was. I'm trying to figure out who that was. That was Kate Masher, who decked one of the players. The ball was still in play, and they've got a player behind the play now, and in fact, Masher is going over to make sure that she's okay. I mean, there wasn't anything in that. She was going after the ball, was Masher, and I think maybe arrived to the ball a little bit late. But meanwhile, as the player is down for Seattle, I imagine they would have substituted her. The play is on the opposite side of the ground now. It's picked off there by Kachi Hewitt. And Hewitt is locked up on the other side of the ground, and the ball squirts free, but first, it's a free kick, unless the ball was held in. Now, the ball was held in, and we'll have a free kick. The player who was injured is off the ground, so we should have even strength now. I'm honestly not sure who was taken down. I know it was Kate Masher who took the player down. It was a shove. It may have come up a little high, but it was all in the, I don't think there was anything mean in it. And this is Corey Ho. Ho is going to send that one in. Again, there was absolutely nobody back, and Ho's housing that goes off to the side. And so there's our first point of the game. It goes to Seattle 1-0. One of the interesting things, Denver is playing so far up, and so is Seattle's forward line, that it's almost like a cow paddock from maybe a 30-meter area before the goals. It's insane how much space there is back there. Here is Stephanie Peterson, who's taken a mark. She's going to try and go right to left on the wind, and it's marked in front by Amelia Carr. And Carr, who usually played on the defensive side, with all of these new players coming in for Seattle, used in the forward line by Aaron Tomaselli, and off of 3 steps kicks the game's first goal. Seattle won 1-7, Denver no score, and it's like deja vu all over again with the Bulldogs again on the back foot. Ball coming back in the middle of the ground once again, and we'll get started. We mentioned the Grizzlies at 0-1. If the Bulldogs manage to win, they'll be in a very good position. San Francisco, of course, having defeated Seattle earlier, if they win and Denver win, then the game they play later on will be essentially a championship match. They'll clear that one out into the middle of the ground, stopped off the foot of Peterson. She'll send it back from whence it came. High up in the air, nice juggle and jump by Matheson. Cleared out by the Doggies. Up to the near side, looking for Mazzaros, who takes the mark. Mazzaros has Bremer to the near side if she wants her. Thexton on a one-on-one, has a bounce off her chest, and Macklin again is in there. Rather, that's Rachel Blum, who gets cleaned up by Thexton, sent in short by Katya Hewitt, who actually, I believe, played for this Denver side last year. The ball came loose, picked up again, little shovel hand pass, and then that one is speared on. Goes as far as Rachel Hill. And they're looking for the call, and they get it. So it'll be a free kick as Anna Thexton wins it from Golden, Colorado, local. And she drops it on her right foot. Spins kind of strange, almost takes the mark. Lindsay Castanet gets the hands up, sends that one forward. Again, it's going to be a race. Here is Marissa Poorboy playing against her old team. She's taken down with a half Nelson. And what's the call going to be? And Poorboy is down, and she is slow to get up. Call time off here. We're going to stay right here for a moment to see how long the delay is. It's not, as Poorboy is able to walk off under her own power. Hopefully she'll be able to return because she's been a key to success. That is going to be awarded as a good tackle, and it will be a free kick as the player coming on to replace her is Rita Hill, a rookie for this Denver side, as this one is dropped up high and off the hand there of Blum, going to throw herself back into the play, and now there's a mess of humanity as Thexton picked it up. She was driven backwards, and she'll have a ball up. Anna Thexton, we just talked about her. We mentioned she's been in and around Aussie rules football since the beginning of this Denver Bulldogs side in 2007, and not only a good player and a great leader, but a good human being as well. And great that she is still a part of this. Here they come out of the back. That is Sam Sheet, I believe. And we'll have a ball up. the last game when she was playing for Orange County. As Amanda Bowe sends that one forward, gets by the defense, and stays in play. Going after her for Seattle is Quinn Bartlett, but Denver is able to clear out on the far side. Going after it, trying to hold the ball in, and stayed in play. That was a throw, yep. And that'll be a free kick to the Bulldogs.
Right footed, doggies!
The dragonflies doing dragonfly things, flying by, and we'll have a ball up, a boundary or a free kick on that far side. And it looks like they're going to try and stop for the water break. At least that's what they're calling for. They're trying to stop for the water. I think they're trying to stop for the water break. Maybe not. Maybe it's from the field. The score, by the way, is 6-0 in favor. Well, we had it as 7-0, and that's going to be the water break. So that'll be. We'll come back to continue the first half. We believe the score is 6-0 in favor of the Denver Bulldogs. You're watching the 2022 USAFL Western Regional Championships here on USAFL.com. All right, we have the score 7-0 Denver because they just kicked it behind. I think they may have missed over the scoreboard. Not only do they have the wrong score, but the people running the scoreboard are standing in front of it. So we're. In the words of Jimmy Durante, these are the circumstances that prevail. Meanwhile, the ball will be sent in. Bowe saw it go off of her fingertips, and there is Hallie Kastanek who kicks that one on, and that will be sent forward by Lindsay Kastanek, but right into the chest of Jennifer Anderson. Anderson will go back, and she'll have some time to look around. She's got fins to the left, fins to the right, and she's the only girl in town. That's some Jimmy Buffett. Sends that one bouncing in. Picked up by the Grizzlies. Sent that one off the left foot across the body. Oh, that took a unfair bounce. As going after that was Darren Kleinsmith, one of 4 players from the Orange County Giants. So we have the score at 1-2 for Seattle and no score for Denver. We'll get that rectified at the end of the half. Ball comes out to the near side, and all alone to take the mark is Lindsay Mazzaros, who's been a key link-up for this Bulldog side. She sends that one out to the near side. Thexton kind of got flat-footed and now has to go in against Peterson. She just got her foot to the ball, dribbles it out to the near side. That is still in play, and that one goes out. And it finally went out of bounds as well, but I mean, the ball was still in play initially. It'll be a boundary throw-in. Check that. That's Fiona Matson. Ball goes to ground. Plum holding her opponent tightly, singing her sweet nothings. Something ball goes to the air. Hewitt in the air for Seattle as the ball goes to ground. Plum chasing after it. And over to get it is Peterson. Peterson couldn't get it. Wilkerson hit by Peterson, who still had one knee on the ground. And it's picked up by Blum. Blum gets the ball smothered. The ball goes about 4 meters forward. Not a whole lot of movement. Ball taken down. That could have been. No, it's gone. She gets pinged for holding the ball. That could have gone either way, but I think that's absolutely the right call, as that one was called against Darren Kleinsmith. Both teams missing. The ball comes outside to Mazzaros. Both teams missing big players due to injuries suffered in the first part of this match. With Ali Alcocer, we believe the player who was hit by Masher down here was a boy who was taken down. So both teams missing huge players, and of course Seattle. This will be a free kick, by the way. Seattle going to be without April Lewis for the rest of the season, as she just had knee surgery. But yet, Seattle has been a strong team in the last couple of seasons. They had an off year last year, but they have gotten most of their players back. Hewitt stutters forward. Now she kicks it right into the face of Fiona Matson. That is a Falcon, and she gets the appreciation of all of the Denver fans sitting right over here. Ball comes down, and we have underway. When it happens right in front of the fans, that's just a different experience. As Fiona Matson Johnson took one to the face. That is what they call a falcon in Australia. For why, I'm sure the Australians can fill it in. Ball comes back in the play. Sends that one the other way. Crowd in front. This is Castatic holding back Peterson, who did it, who very cleverly flipped it forward. And now she's got a great outrace hand in Castatic. She says, I'm just going to play soccer. Kicks that one inside 50. They try to clear that one out, and they do. Not only as far as Rachel Blum. Blum sends that one forward to the right, almost taken. Ball comes to ground. Handed forward there by Anna Zimmer, my believer. That could be Hada 36. And that one is flipped up towards the sticks. And it's there. It's a goal. Trying to see who got the goal. They said get around her, but I'm not sure who they were getting around. But Seattle gets their second goal. So they are leading the top-seeded Denver Bulldogs now as they go on to 2-1-13. And it's no score for 2-2-14, and we have another player hurt. As we get these spy glasses on it, we will tell you that it is Rachel Blum. And that's another potential huge loss for the Grizzlies. As we mentioned, missing Ali Alcocer, who went down behind the flag. So they are, the situation has become slightly atrocious. The weather has cooled down a little bit. These players have tried to stay loose in between games. I mean, there's a 2-hour break in between games. You really only have an hour to really just kind of relax, because then you have to get warmed back up again and start getting ready for the next game. Ball in the air as we continue. As the ball comes out to the near side. And here comes, picked up and sent forward. That was Sulis for Denver. And it'll be a free kick. That one was called back. Free kick Seattle. And this is Corey Howe. Corey sends that one up on the right. Wind carries it. That's going to roll back. Seattle definitely has the win. Peterson clears her out, gets away, sends that one towards the sticks. It goes off to the right side, and going up to pick it out, and is harried by Carr, who forces the error and the turnover. It'll be a free kick. The ball went straight out on the full, and it will be a free kick to the Seattle Grizzlies. And the closest player to it was Katja Hewitt. Now that is not the case, as they have given the ball to Stephanie Peterson. Peterson has been a part of all of these teams where the Grizzlies have made their run. She sends it to the stick. That's coming back. It was tipped in front and rushed by the line for a behind. We have the score as Seattle 2-3-15, and Denver no score. We will say that Seattle has had the wind in this first half. So whatever score they have, it's going to end up being like a cricket score. They're going to have to defend it, it seems like. Out to the near side, and it's off the hands of Mazzaros, but Rachel Odell. They flip it ahead to Mazzaros, who was tackled and kept in play by Michelle Hada. She gets it off to the near side. Hada, one of the county players. And that one was a great smother, and they take it down without the ball. Yes, that's the call. And it's going to be a free kick. It should be to Bremner. Great job of defense on both sides, but it's Bremner who wins the free kick. We have the San Francisco-Sacramento game on the other field. You'll see that as well on our YouTube channel, as that one found the field of play and then bounced out of the way of Lindsay Mazzaros. It is 15-0, but that is unofficially. They're going to call that as going out on the full. Here's Katja Hewitt. I clearly thought that just landed in the field of play, but I was wrong. As that one is marked by Ali Castatic, and she's going to try and play forward. And balls to Lindsay Castatic. Chips that one forward, looking for Mazzaros, bounces out of her way. Tried to pick that one up on the third hop, and the ball goes out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw-in for real this time. Seattle trying to win their first regional championship. Denver trying to win their third in a row. Out to the near side. They go back and pick that one up, spinning around. Ball goes to ground. Or check that, I think it might be their fourth. They're trying to win their fourth in a row, having won in 2017, 2018, and 2019. Ball goes in the middle, and whoops, hang on. We have an extra rover on the field. There we go. Listen, I love dogs that play Aussie rules football, but this is a little ridiculous. As the ball comes out and Hewitt tries to fly forward, she goes down and over the top, and that will be locked in there as Allison White, number 11, tried to go in as well. Ball goes back in the air, and again, that's Matson up against Hewitt, and tries to get free. Hewitt was dropped, the crowd wanted ball. There's Marissa Poorboy back in the play, sends that one forward, knocked down by Masher, and also Ali Alcocer's back in the game, so that's really good to see. The only player I don't think is accounted for yet is Rachel Blum, number 40, wearing the black and green, as that one is sent up into the corner and into the pocket, and it's marked. It's marked by 33, who is Jen Anderson. Anderson plays that one up on the far side, and it's still in play. Ball goes to ground, and taking her down, it's Molly Albano is who we have as number 17. So, yeah, so sorry, Molly, for calling you the wrong name in that last game, but, you know, rosters. That one is sent in short, and it's taken down. And Hill in there to wrestle. Natalie Griffin is in there as well. And that one is sent on the right foot towards the goal. This is Denver's first chance. It hangs up in the air and knocked forward smartly by Michelle Hada to concede the behind, as she had Cassie Wilkerson on her hammer, but they concede the behind, and that's the first point of the game for Denver. It's now unofficially 15-1. Ball goes out on the far side, and that will be halftime. So we have a mill of bodies around the scoreboard, but at halftime, it was an absolutely fantastic quarter, especially if you were a Seattle Grizzly. Great first half. The score is the Seattle Grizzlies 2-2-14. Denver Bulldogs won. It's a very hard-fought game in changing conditions. We'll step aside, take a break, take a breath, come right back with the second half. You're watching the 2022 USAFL Western Regional Championships here on USAFL.com. Second half of this women's division game between the Denver Bulldogs and the Seattle Grizzlies is underway, and it is, the scoreboard says 14-1, and so we're going under the impression that that was waved off as the official score. So it's 14-1, Seattle the lead, and the Bulldogs now are heading to the left of screen, which is the win, and so it'll be up to Seattle to defend a 13-point lead. I was going to say 13 runs, but this isn't cricket. As the ball gets popped up in the air, and it's marked, and playing on is Leah Liberatore. Liberatore has a bounce. That one, she scuffed that one across, and it's going to be defended there at the back by Dominique Gowden. Gowden's able to get that one free, looking for Natalie Griffin. Griffin goes after the football, the Billings, Montana native, and then gets that one away, and here the other way comes Alcocer, but she ran out of bounds, and it'll be a boundary throw. Seattle and Denver. Seattle defeated Denver in the national semifinals in 2018 to make it into their first grand final. The Seattle club, founded in 1999, they didn't have a women's team until 2016. Ball goes to the ground and gets it away, does Griffin, and now that one is on the far side. There's Rachel Blum. So all three players that left the field with injuries, as that one is sent up and marked by Allie Kastanek, who plays on quickly, sends a rolly ball over to Liberatore. Liberatore tries to play that one in, and going back to get it is Alcocer, and that was Molly Albano who shepherded her player off the ball, and we have another Seattle Grizzly down and getting up very slowly and riding around a little bit. And I think one of the Bulldogs is over there just checking on her. Time off is called. We're going to stay here for just a moment and just check on the delay. And I think it is going to take a little bit of time, so I think we might step aside for a moment and come right back. Now we're just waiting on the restart of the match. That was Katja Hewitt for the Seattle Grizzlies, who's been a very important player so far in the context of the game. She is off the field. We're underway again. Denver trailing 15-1. They did now fix the score, so it is officially 15-1. As that one is spent in towards the sticks, Griffin is on her horse to try and get it through for a behind, and she does. Or check that. I said it looked like it was 34. It's actually 38, which was Anna Zimmern. So it's a behind to Denver. It's their second point of the game, and it's now 15-2. So now they have to try and defend a 13-point lead. And the wind, which was blowing probably about a 2-goal breeze, and which had blown some of the tents on the other side of the field sideways, has calmed down completely. Ball comes into play, and that one is sent in towards the middle, and it's marked. Sent back the other direction, off the hands of Albano. Sends that one back from whence it came. Over the head, Griffin now charging after it. Gowden able to get it from Hill's hands. She stays on her hand. Got to be careful not to push her in the back. Gowden, Hill. Gowden is in there as well. Rachel Blum is paying vigil, and we'll have, I believe, a boundary throw-in as the ball has gone out of bounds. Second round of play in the women's division. 3 divisions here. 2 men's and a women's, all of them with 4 teams playing a 3-game round robin on this beautiful, if not slightly warm Saturday afternoon here in Westminster, Colorado. Base of the mighty Rockies as that one is dropped, and they're going to send that one back in. Seattle's defense is going to be under attack here. Howe is taken down, comes out to the near side. And Albano and Matson, and ball up. Back in the air, knocked down by Blum, picked up by Michelle Hata, and here is Howe as poor boy, and it comes out to Zimmern. Zimmern gets a right foot on it, it goes through. Guys, hey! Ball's on the ground. And it's marked by Latia Holmes. Holmes with the football now for Seattle. Sends that one up on the far side where it's marked on the knees by Stephanie Peterson. Peterson standing in the true center halfback position. Clicks that one out to the left side. High up in the air. And it'll run through. Hata on her horse. And the hotter they come, the hotter they fall. But here comes Mazzaros, who kicks that one straight out on the full. Probably should have picked that up and at least tried to move forward with it. Worst case scenario, she would have been tackled out of bounds and it would have been a boundary throw-in. But instead, it's a free kick on the wing position, with Seattle still leading 15-2. Bit of an upset this would be. I mean, Denver has their full complement, and Seattle, we say, just missing April Lewis, but with a number of their stronger players who have come back. Of course, we mentioned Valerie Barber-Axel, who she and husband Isaac in Australia, expecting their first child relatively soon, as it's marked by Howe. And then you've got Tegan Hamilton, who was the glue that really held that team together for many years going back to Australia. And of course, Marion Dickinson, they're missing her as well from previous seasons. The ball comes out to the near side, 1-on-1 contest, 4-point. Big Shepherd put in there by Jennifer Anderson. As poor boy had it still loose, comes out to Shoeries. And now, big hit put in there. And Howe is down. That might have been a little bit of elbow, but that was a huge hit thrown in there by Bremner. And who is down, and Shoeries is over to check on her, and yet another injury. numbers are dwindling a little bit for Seattle with Hewitt and now out, and Corey Howell now out. It is a free kick. Molly Albano will put the ball back into play in front of her own goals. That might not be Albano. That is Susan Bruce, I believe. Bruce will send that one up high. 2 touches for Zimmer, but couldn't swallow the pits. Comes out down the middle of the ground, bounces free. Jessamy is in there, and she's going to chase on after the 28 there, which was Odell, and it's going to be sent back the other way, but it's going to be marked again by Bremner. I checked that, that's not Bremner, that's 12, which is Moser, who's had a couple of touches. She goes out to the far side, and it's going to be stayed in play. Over to get it is Lindsay Kastanek. Kastanek was taken down, picked up again. There is Lindsay Kastanek, who managed to stay with the ball. Sends that one down, one-on-one contest. That is Griffin. Griffin threw that one on to the left, got it to a teammate, sends that one forward, and it one hops in to Lindsay Kastanek, who sends it inside 50. A bump off the top. Here is Kate Masher, who's going after it, and Rita Hill, who is battling against Natalie Griffin. And the ball has gone out of bounds, and it'll be a boundary throw-in. Opportunity for Denver. They trail 15-2. 13 points separate the teams. And ball's back in the play now as we watch for it up on the far side. And Thexton tried to take down Holmes and did so. So here is Anna Thexton. Stands probably 3 kicks from goal, even with the wind, which is now more of a crosswind. Sends that one up high in the air. And oh, what a great job by Rachel Blum. Spread eagle and spoiled the ball out of play. Rachel Blum began her career in 2019, and they were really, really excited about her when she came into play. She didn't play at the Nationals last year, but played this season and has done a fantastic job today. As keeping that one in is Anderson, and I think the ball has, no, they're going to call it, they took her down off the football. So it's a free kick, and it'll be a free kick for the Bulldogs, still looking for their first goal. And the wind, again, picking up, and again, this will be a headwind. This is Leo Liberatore. Liberatore strides in. It will ride on the wind across the face and go through for the third behind of the game for the Denver Bulldogs, and that will be the water break. So the Bulldogs, 2 straight kicks separate the teams, and the Seattle Grizzlies are roughly 10 minutes away from pulling off the upset. We'll come back for the rest, the conclusion of this game. You're watching the 2022 USAFL Western Regional Championships here on USAFL.com. All right, can Seattle hang on? And not only can they hang on, but can they keep Seattle from, or can they keep Denver from scoring? Of course, now we mentioned, knee injury to April Lewis. She's not here. Allison Leonard, the former Seattle Grizzly, came over for Denver. She's out for the season as well with knee reconstruction. So both of these teams missing players. So we're back underway. It's 2-3-15 for Seattle, 3 behinds for Denver, and the mark is taken out on the far side by 19, who is Kleinsmith, who goes up the far side. Send that back the other way, and goes through everybody. And a one-on-one contest. Hada's in there shoving players away. That one is kicked in, and a nice take. I don't think it would have gone 15, and she just got it, did Anderson, but poor boy did a good job to harry the kick. Solis, great smother in there by Zimmern. And here comes Seattle, able to clear that one out for now. But getting good position is Hallie Kastanek. She runs the 50 meters and goes in short and finds the connection. And does it in her wife, in Lindsay Kastanek. They're a team on and off the field. So here is Lindsay Kastanek. Denver trying to get on the major scoreboard, and that is through for a behind. Looks like it went across the face, and so now it's less than 2 goals. So now 2 kicks puts them in the lead. 4 behinds for Denver. They trail by 11 points. Seattle 2-3-15. Brian Barish here with you. And Adam on camera has done a fantastic job all day and has had to put up with me being in his ear for the better part of the day. Out to the near side they come. Through the hands of Zimmern. Bounces free. Could have taken her down without the football, no call. Comes the Liberatore. She sends it towards the sticks. It bounces in front. Who wants it? And there is Poor Boy! Off the deck! And Marissa Poorboy has brought Denver back into this game. They go to 1-4-10, and Seattle on 2-3-15. Well, we've seen a 1-point thriller in the men's division, 16-15, with LA defeating Golden Gate for the first time. Might we see this one come down to the end? It's worth mentioning that a tie is in the picture, too. Game ends in a tie. Both teams split the 4 points on offer for this game. Plum knocks it down. A goal would be really helpful for Seattle. One would think that the next goal in this game, where there's only been 3, would win the game for either team. Here comes Seattle now, the Grizzlies. Sends that one in, and it's marked. Oh, what happened? Oh, they said that she pushed off. And it's Amelia Carr, and you can hear somebody, one of the Denver players, scream no behind the play. This is Amelia Carr, who has scored goals from out here before, but she'll have the wind in her face. This one is going to die in the goal square, and it is marked defensively by Hallie Castanek. They put the ball to the ground. They have 180 meters to go. They kick it out to the near side, and just played by Anderson. Staying in there is Albano. Here is Anderson, rather than Bo. Sends that one inside 50, but it's all Hallie Castanek. Long handball over. This is Liberatore. She sends that one high and deep in the middle of the ground. Alcocer takes the mark against her face. Ali Alcocer will go back. She's a Freedom product. She'll look around. She goes and balks to the left. Now kicks that one to the right. Ball goes high in the air. Gets by Shea Solis. Solis has to chase it down. She's got Zimmern on her hammer. Gets it away. And the mark is taken nicely and strongly by Jennifer Anderson. Anderson stands in the wing position. She has Hada on a short option if she wants her. She's got 7 seconds to get rid of the ball, and she's going to use every single one. Turns that one into the middle. Blum may have gotten held. She gets taken down after she got the ball by Albano, and the umpire said there was no prior opportunity. So he'll have a ball up, and it shouldn't be our field. It isn't, and we'll have a ball up with Blum against, I believe that's Matson. The ball goes to ground. This has been one of the games of the day, as this one is cleared out, long and straight down. The ball gets knocked down. It comes out into the middle of the ground. Albano in against 25 for Seattle, who we don't have. That's when it's going to be picked up by Latia Holmes. Holmes just got it away. Here again is Alcocer. As she goes down, Peterson is in there as well. Holmes is in there. Liberatore just got it away to Bremner. That one is smothered by Gaudin off the foot of who was that? That was that was Lindsay Castanek. But getting the ball back is Holmes. Holmes is able to shake away from Bremner and come out to the near side. Over the head of Zimner. Zimner and Solis. Here's Zimmern. Zimmern stays with the football, gets by Solis, but then Zimmern falls down. Solis stays on it. Anderson shoves her out of the way and plays it forward, but it's picked off as this one is kicked forward. But we have a whistle. And we have a free kick, and it looks like it's going the way of the Grizzlies. So the kick will go. It'll be a free kick. We're listening to some of the chatter over here, but it's a free kick the way of Anna Zimmer. And now it's going to be Anderson who takes the football. Meanwhile, the clock does not stop. It is ebbing away from the Denver Bulldogs. Bulldogs, who trail by 5 points. Can Seattle upset mighty Denver? They kick that one down. Here is Amanda Bowe, who takes a strong mark in front of Liberatore. The Denver boys are off to the right. They're getting excited and ready for their final game of the day. And here is Amanda Bowe, the former goalkeeper from Washington University in St. Louis. Oh, and they say they broke, it's a 50-meter penalty because they said they came over the mark. So there was no kick, so it's a 50-meter penalty. And so Amanda Bowe's going to take all the time that's allotted to her. 5-point lead by Seattle. Bowe calls for the Jets to be scrambled. Now she sets sail into the wind. Ball's going to drop in front. There is Blum. Ball goes to ground. Zimmern goes A over T. Goes to pick that one up. Just got it away. Hana holding back Liberatore, who soccers the ball forward. Out to the near side they come. Liberatore is thumped by Anderson. The ball comes out to the near side, into the crowd, and it's going to be tackled. It's still in play as far as we know. Ball is still in play. And now it comes out in Hana. That's Zimmern, who's become a factor as she sends that one in. Here is 19, which is Kleinsmith. Kleinsmith sends that one in towards the goal. It's still in the pocket.
No, he blatantly tried to.
And now we have a little bit of vision here
Yeah,
as the ball goes out of bounds, and it will be a boundary throw-in. Time is still ebbing away, but Seattle has it exactly where they want it to be.
I was like, I look athletic-ish, but I mean,
Denver still has 180 meters they need to go. And now here is Kastanek, who dropped the pill. No call. Sexton couldn't get it. Over to get it now. Throwing her shoulder in. That one goes around. That one is cleared out to the near side. Up high. And now it bounces free. Zimmern able to get it. Just turns it back. This is great for Seattle as it bounces in front. Handball to Bowe. Bowe to ice the game. No, it stays in front. Carr rescues it, swings around on a dime, puts that one for goal. It's still in play. How is it still in play? Bowe went to get it. She gets taken down. Tick, tick, tick. And we have a ball up. Not much time left. Seattle leads by 5 points, 15 to 10. Can they put Denver in at 1-1?
Okay, they're all taking
And can they go to 1-1 as well? And meanwhile, how is San Francisco doing on that other field? It's a free kick. I thought it was a held ball, but here's Amanda Bowe. Bowe to put a bow on it. No, it's marked in front by Kastanek. She's gotta go. She's gotta go from goal to goal. I hear some whistles. No, nothing's happening. Still waiting. Still waiting. Clock still running. Comes out into the middle of the ground. Tipped off the top. This would be a miracle victory if Denver could pull it off. Here comes Ho. That one is kicked in the middle of the ground. It's picked up and going to be sent back in. Getting her foot on that was Matheson. And that one rolls through. Denver desperately trying to get it out and get it down the field. Here comes Liberatore, who went forward without the football. High up in the air once again. And now here it's going to be picked up by Zimmern. Got it back to Katia Hewitt, who's back on the field. Has Anderson. Anderson sends that one in towards the sticks. Carr couldn't handle it. Ball comes to the ground. Flick towards the goal. To the goal! That goal will stand. And I heard some whistles as the ball went out, but Seattle is going to win the game, and there it is. The Seattle Grizzlies have pulled off the upset, and they have beaten the Denver Bulldogs here at home in Denver, and they have done so by 11 points. The final score, the Seattle Grizzlies 3-3-21, the Denver Bulldogs 1-4-10. What an incredible game by both teams, but the Seattle Grizzlies, with a number of their players missing on and off throughout the game, and with players from the Orange County Giants, go to 1-1. Denver is now 1-1. Both teams still very much alive, but it all needs to come down to Denver beating San Francisco, because if that happens, then there's a chance for them, and Seattle, who still has to play against Sacramento. Of course, if San Francisco wins that game, which will be on this field against Denver, they are the champions, of course. That depends on how they're doing against Sacramento. Wow, what a game. Well, that'll do it for this one. Don't forget you can check out all the action from the Western Regionals and all season long on our website, USAFL.com, and on Facebook at facebook.com/USAFL, on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, USAFL 1997. For Adam, our cameraman, I'm Brian Bauer saying so long for now.